Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Paige. I make videos every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. You should subscribe. And today you're going to be meeting my family. I am so excited that they agreed to come on camera and answer a couple of questions for you guys about what it's like to live with me, what it was like when I got my diagnosis, what I was like before I got my diagnosis. Just a couple of questions for each of them. I adore my family. I'm so close to them. I still live with them, and yeah, my parents are teachers, and my brother is in college to become a teacher. I live in a family of teachers, and they have always been supportive of my school journey, and now they have been learning how to support me through my diagnosis journey, my acceptance journey, my mental health journey. So yeah, they're here to answer all the questions. And if you would like a part 2 to this video, please leave your questions for my family in the comment section below. This is my brother Ryan. Welcome, Ryan.
Hi.
We have a very great relationship. We kind of always have. As kids, we made a pact not to tell on each other. And I think that started a great friendship. Ryan let me used to dress him up in dresses and wigs.
Fun.
Yeah, he was a great little brother. Very cooperative. Huh.
Yeah.
He went along with most everything I said. We had our fights, don't get me wrong, but overall, Ryan is a wonderful brother. And now, in my chronic illness and diagnosis journey, he has been super supportive, and he has been helpful and been kind of a mediator for me and my parents sometimes, and yeah. So, did you ever think that something was wrong with me before I got diagnosed with anything?
Yes. I don't know. You've always had a lot of problems, whether it be scoliosis or getting every sickness in the book or breaking your leg and arm and just everything. Definitely some kind of problem there.
Yeah, it wasn't normal.
Yeah, and I don't know, I never said it or talked to anyone about it or anything, but I just in the back of my mind, I don't know, I could kind of tell there must be something wrong.
That's kind of how I felt too.
You weren't
sure, but
yeah, you weren't too much of a daredevil or anything. It's not like you were.
No.
I don't know. You definitely put yourself in a situation to get hurt multiple times, but it's not like it was all the time.
And it's not like all the people on my cheer team were getting hurt that much.
Yeah, you got pretty unlucky a couple of times, but I'm sure most of it was because of your diagnoses.
Yes.
So, yeah.
So how would you say that our relationship has changed since I have received all my diagnoses?
I don't think it's really changed at all. I don't know. I can't think of any way that it's really changed. So
yeah. I would say that the only difference is that I need more help from you.
Well, yeah, but
you've had to be more of a caregiver sometimes.
A little bit.
But honestly, that's not really that big of a change, huh? Because every time I've had surgery, Ryan will be lazy with me and watch South Park or stupid movies.
Or just get you anything you need.
Yeah. So I guess it's not really that big of a change.
No. It's just all the time now. But
yeah.
It happened often enough to where I'm used to it. So
yeah. What has been the most difficult thing, in your opinion, about managing my chronic illness and stuff?
Probably just how you were talking about earlier, me being a mediator between you and mom and dad. Because, it's really easy for me to see both of your viewpoints. And it's also easy for me to see, the flaws in your viewpoints. And I don't know, I'm standing in the corner this could be solved so much easier if like both parties just thought this or like realized this about their argument. And like it's frustrating to me because it seems so simple to me, but obviously when you're in it, it's like, I don't know, it's hard because emotions and exactly. Nothing too big, just the mediator part is kind of hard to just sit there and like watch without saying anything.
Yeah, you're good at it though, because you remain so calm in conflict.
Yeah.
At least when you're not involved.
Even
when you're involved, you're pretty calm.
Yeah.
But you are a good mediator because you remain calm and you are so open-minded and intuitive, and you are so good at. And you obviously know us all so well that you understand our viewpoints, and you know how to communicate to us what the other person is trying to say without the emotion behind it.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. So that's been super helpful. I think that's been the most helpful, is kind of having someone to have my back sometimes.
But not just being totally on your side.
Yeah.
Like, still seeing like the truth and everything, but telling you like, I get why you're like that, and I get like why you get so emotional about it and stuff, and I know that you don't have any like negative intentions when like you guys have arguments or anything, and I can tell. And I don't know, and I think it helps for me to tell you that like I get why you're mad.
Yeah.
You know? Like I get it.
What do you think has been like the hardest symptom to watch me deal with?
It's kind of an overall symptom, but just your total pain and like how it makes you stay in bed all day, and like I know you want to go out and do stuff, you know?
Yeah.
It's just the mental aftermath of like the physical pain, because you can't do anything, so you have to be in bed, but it's like you just feel so groggy, and like I haven't done anything all day, and I understand that now, because with the lockdown after COVID and stuff, like I felt the same way. Not the physical pain part, but literally I'm just in my bed or on my computer or something, just doing nothing.
Yeah,
you know?
Because you can't do the things you want to do.
Exactly. And like that is probably the worst part about it, from my perspective. Like that would be the hardest to deal with, so probably that.
Well, thank you so much, Ryan, for coming on my channel and talking with us and hanging out.
Yeah, of course. I guess it's my first time on here, huh?
Yeah, kind of. You're in my holiday vlog. I love you. Thank you.
I love you too.
My baby. This is my dad. Welcome to the channel. And me and my dad go way back, you know. So my dad is not the most comfy on camera, but he is being a trooper?
Sure.
He's being a trooper for me. Did you ever think that something was wrong with me before I got diagnosed with anything?
Yeah, a lot of injuries, you know, growing up with cheerleading and everything else. And a broken arm, a lot of sprained ankles and wrists and everything else. And then as you got into late high school and into college, then like the emotional part of it and the anxiety part of it. So yeah, we thought something was wrong.
Yeah, the anxiety part of it did seem the hardest for you and for Mom to deal with. When I started having panic attacks, I think it was just hard for you to know what was happening or why I was hyperventilating on the floor.
Yeah, and then in college, you know, that was too much to handle. You know, being away from home in Reno for those 2 years, you know, everything kind of came out at that time, it seemed like.
Yes, I think that's when everything did come to a head, was when I decided to come back. I just had enough. And that was right before my shoulder surgery too, so I was dealing with that injury. Another one. How did you react to my initial diagnoses?
Well, it's a situation where I've never heard of it before, and a lot of your doctors never heard of it before.
Right.
So, how real is this? And, how could something affect your muscles and your digestive system and your nervous system and everything at the same time? But, once you gave us that book to read and it explained things, and then it started to make sense.
Yeah, I think that knowledge is key when you're getting diagnosed with something, and when your family is getting diagnosed with something, the best thing that you can do is to learn about it and try to understand them better. And I think that you guys came around to that.
And I know, going in with you to San Rafael to your physical therapist, and how he explained it, I thought was good for a doctor to explain it to me as well, and how readjusting you and how it helps, and then you're giving you your stretches and everything else, how that's going to help you.
Yeah, he does do a great job of explaining it. My guy in San Rafael is far from us, but he has so much knowledge about EDS and POTS and mast cell and all of it, so he's been super helpful. What has been, in your opinion, the most difficult thing about managing all of my diagnoses and everything?
I think it's the inconsistency part of it. Is you have good days and bad days. And I understand if you're in a lot of pain, you're going to be in a bad mood. So there's certain days that is hard for you, and other days that seem almost normal. So, just checking in with you and seeing how you're feeling that day. And I know if you overdo it on one day, then the next day is going to be tough because you're going to be sore. But it's not just a physical thing, but your emotions and your nervous system, and some days you're able to drive and some days you're not, and just the inconsistencies day to day, I think, is the hardest part. Someone like me, I want things structured and on time, and we had a goal. It wasn't just my goal for you, but it was our goal for you to go away to college, finish college, maybe become a teacher. But things change and we have to adapt to it, and that's been very hard to adapt and come up with a new plan.
Yes.
But I think we've done that. So
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
I get all of my love and passion for planning and organizing from you.
Mm-hmm.
I love structure and to have things planned. So it's frustrating for me too to have something mess up my plans, or have a plan for tomorrow and then I wake up and I'm like, I can't do anything on this list.
Right.
So I have to put it off, and that's super frustrating.
And readjust, plan and readjust, plan and readjust. Yeah.
Yeah, chronic illness has definitely made me more adaptable and flexible with scheduling and everything, because you have to be, you don't have choice. So, well, thank you so much for coming on camera, even though you hate it.
Yeah.
I hope it wasn't too painful.
No, it's all right.
Okay. Thanks, Dad.
Okay.
I love ya.
I love you too.
Last but certainly not least, we have my mother. Welcome, Mother.
Thank you. I'm Darcy.
This is Darcy. Mama Darcy. I'm very close to my mother. We're good friends, I'd like to say. And we've had our ups and downs in my diagnosis journey, but we have come a very long way. And my mother is very supportive of my journey. She drives me very far to see my doctor, and she encourages me to do my exercises and checks in on me with my health. So, thank you.
You're welcome.
So, did you ever think that something was wrong with me before I got diagnosed with anything?
Well, for a long time, I wasn't sure it was anything wrong, because you did choose a sport, 2 sports actually, that were the highest rate of injuries, with tumbling and cheer. And so the sprains and the breaks really didn't cause too much cause for alarm. But then there were other things like illnesses and infections and things like that. And, even though we were hoping there wasn't a cause for it, it would explain a lot of things, but we really couldn't get any doctors to link anything together. So we trust our doctors, and so it was maybe it's just bad luck. But over the years, it's been, I know, hard for you. There were certain things that it was hard to watch you go through. So I'm glad that you now have an answer to a lot of the questions that you've had over the years, and that you're on a good path and learning how to manage what you're up against.
How would you say that our relationship has changed since I got diagnosed with everything?
Just since, or can I talk about before too?
Before too. You can talk about all of that.
I feel like we've always had a really good relationship, really close. And I started noticing some a lot of ups and downs when you were in your later years in high school, and more so in college, really struggling to deal with things when you were out on your own. It was hard to do it long distance, and
Right.
Obviously you felt that way too, and wound up, coming back and going to school a lot closer to home. But I think that watching you go through some of the emotional parts of what you were dealing with was really hard, and watching you have a panic attack was kind of the height of something's not right, and it was really hard to watch. But I'm a fixer, and I always want to fix things, and so it was really difficult when I couldn't just help you fix it or fix it myself.
Right.
And I think that what I've come out of all this with is that I know I can't fix it, but I have to find a way to keep our relationship in good standing. And I've learned from you about, it isn't always about fixing things, but about listening and assisting and having more empathy, because that was something that I lacked. I hope I've gotten better, but that's helped me a lot, because I feel like that was what was important to you, and that's helping you get through it, even though it's still something I struggle with, because I still just want to fix it. I have to just listen and not react sometimes, and we're getting there. And I think that we've definitely are on the positive side again.
Yes.
With the ups and downs.
Absolutely.
And we live in close quarters, so we definitely need to coexist in peace. And
We sure do share a wall. We sure do.
yeah, so I think that, I don't know, that's been the hardest part for me, is the emotional part, because sometimes I don't always have a lot of emotion, and so it's working through that.
But yes, I think that you have gotten a lot better with listening to what I need, and then doing your best to give me that, and having empathy for everything that I'm going through. And before, I would just beg her, like, please just show me some empathy, give me some emotion, something, give me something. I just think that you didn't know how to support me yet, and knowledge is key, and now we know how to help each other so that we don't have to walk on eggshells all the time. Because there was a time that I know you guys really felt like you had to walk on eggshells around me, and I know that was a really difficult period
It's
for
difficult
us.
because everything seemed to set you off, and it was really hard to watch you have those strong emotions.
What would you say is the most difficult thing now with managing all of my symptoms and diagnoses?
Being the fixer that I always wanted to be, it's really hard for me to not be able to assist you with your appointments or have any kind of, I can't help guide you through, like,
because I'm not a minor.
Because you're not a minor anymore. And then COVID made it harder because I couldn't go with you to your appointments. And that was helpful for me to hear it from an expert. It helped me understand how to better support you.
And yeah, COVID did make it really difficult for a lot of families, because when your family can't go with you to the appointment, they don't get the information. They're getting it third hand, right? Second hand
From you, if your doctor tells you.
Yeah, they're getting it second hand from me instead of hearing it straight from the source, who's a doctor who you trust and get that kind of information from. They're good at explaining that kind of stuff. So families missed out on that during COVID, and that means that the people going through diagnoses are lacking the support that they need. Would you say that the anxiety is the worst symptom or like the most difficult symptom to deal with for you?
It's hard to watch you have physical pain, but I think sometimes when it affects your nervous system and you are, dizzy, or you're having anxiety and then it brings on depression, those are the hardest things to watch, more so than physical pain, I think. Just to watch you be in a place that I can't pull you out of. And so that was really difficult.
I know the dizziness scares you. I think the dizziness is kind of something that made you believe that something was wrong when I was fainting in the shower and stuff. I think that was the indicator for you that something was off.
Yeah.
Would you say that it was Cipro that made things worse?
That's right about the time when things were probably the worst for you. And, with the research that we did to find out about Cipro, it seems that it could have been an explanation for what you were going through.
Okay, I have one more question.
Okay.
What has been the most positive thing to come out of all of my diagnosis journey and all of it? What's the most positive thing to come out of it?
The fact that it's put you in a better place and that you're feeling better. You know how to manage things better, and you seem on the road to finding yourself in a place where you're happy and more motivated for the next steps that, finishing school and working through your job, and those things are easier to conquer for you when you're in that better place, and just knowing how to manage it has come from that.
I agree. I was just telling her earlier today that I think I've only had 2 panic attacks since I got diagnosed with everything. They've really not been as bad since then, partially because things slowed down and I didn't have much to be anxious about during COVID, and I didn't have any obligations, but also because I understood what was going on with my body, and that put me at ease mentally. Well, thank you so much for being on my video.
You're welcome. Can I hug you?
Appreciate it. Yes, I love you.
I love you.
Thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you enjoyed meeting my family and talking to them about me. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up down below and subscribe to my channel. And hit the little bell button to be notified when I upload videos every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Have a great week, and I will see you next Friday. Bye!
Bye.